Well, it's almost Valentine's Day, and this is like the time where people spend money. And if you don't need to spend money, this vlog is for you. So when you go out to Valentine's dinner, sometimes, you know, like the menus are set and it's kind of expensive. All the restaurants like jack up their prices because they know everyone's going out to eat. So if you have to save money this Valentine's Day, I'm going to show you how to cook a beautiful, romantic Italian Valentine's dinner. First thing we're gonna start with is the appetizer. So those are garlic knots. Not the healthiest thing in the world, and it's garlic, and this is Valentine's, so if you're like making out later, could be an issue, but the taste is so worth it. So you're gonna first buy some pizza dough, and I shop at Publix. I don't know if there's like a Publix in your area, but in the bakery, they have like homemade pizza dough, and it's $2, it's so cheap. So you're gonna take it, and you're going to spread it out, and you're gonna divide it up in, I don't know, maybe like 10, 12 like little knots, or even more, it doesn't matter. So you take a thing of dough, and then you wrap it, and you make a knot. And as you like make your knots, see, then you tuck in the extra dough at the bottom. When you're doing your knots, you put it in a cast iron skillet, and you're gonna just like make a big circle of these garlic knots. Again, it could be big knots like this, it could be smaller, it doesn't really matter. Now we're gonna make the center, all cheese. Are you ready for this? Now you're gonna take 8 ounces of cream cheese, and you're gonna take 1 cup of shredded mozzarella. So when you mix the mozzarella and cream cheese, it's probably a good idea to mix it in a big bowl instead of the small bowl. You know, guys, when I cook in the kitchen, it might surprise you, but I don't divide everything up this pretty, so these bowls confuse me sometimes. But so you have your full thing of cream cheese, 8 ounces, 1 cup of shredded mozzarella. You're gonna do about half a cup of grated Parmesan. You're gonna do half a cup of ricotta cheese. You're going to do 3 cloves of garlic. Whew, that's garlicky. You're gonna do about 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes and some basil, like 1/4 of a cup or something. Just like eyeball it, you know? It smells so good. And then you're gonna mix it all together. So then once you get it all mixed up, mine's on like really mixed, but you know what I'm talking about, guys, you know? So you're gonna put the cheese in the center of your garlic knots. And then you're gonna melt half of a cup of butter. You're gonna put 3 more cloves of garlic in that. And then about 1/4 of a cup of fresh parsley. And you're gonna mix all of that together. And then you're gonna drizzle it on top of the garlic knots. So good. And the recipe calls for half of a cup of butter, but when I've made it in the past, like that's a lot of butter. And not because I'm like trying to be like all healthy. It's just a lot of butter to spread. So if you want to like do half a stick instead of a whole stick of butter, that's great too. So then you have your finished product, and you're gonna put it in the oven at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. And through the magic of video, there's one in the oven already. So you can kind of see what it looks like. Oh my gosh. But this is your finished product. The main course, this is spinach lasagna. I'm not like a crazy healthy person, but if I can find little tricks to like tweak recipes where they can be a little healthier and I don't notice, I'm like all about it. But I'm not one of these like weird, get the milk from the goat to process and use like all that stuff. I don't do that. This is a lasagna without noodles. You substitute it with spinach and it really does taste good. The recipe I'm gonna read out to you guys and show you is half of the big recipe. I only did half because there's 2 people, you know, Valentine's Day, 2 come together and love each other. That's why I just did half, because there's only 2 people eating this one. If you want to make like a big thing of it, then double what I'm about to tell you. For this recipe, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take ground beef, about a pound or so ground beef, and brown it on your stovetop and then drain the grease. And I did all this beforehand for time's sake. Then once your grease is drained, then you're gonna get a jar of spaghetti sauce and use about half of it. You can do a little bit more, you can kind of see the consistency. And then you're gonna get some spices. So I'm gonna read off all the spices to you. You're gonna do 3/4 of a tablespoon of dried oregano, 1/4 of a teaspoon of mineral salt, half of a teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/16 a teaspoon, like a dash basically, of cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper? Kanye West pepper. Cayenne pepper, forgive me. Then you're gonna like put all those seasonings in the spaghetti sauce. And then this is what it's gonna turn out to be. Then you're gonna get a pan and you're going to put some of that and layer the bottom. You're going to make your cheese recipe. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take half of a cream cheese. So like usually it comes in a full, so about 4 ounces of cream cheese. And then you're gonna take 1 egg, and then you're gonna get about a cup of cottage cheese. And then you're gonna mix all of this and make a beautiful like cheese. And then you're gonna get like half a bag of spinach. And you're also gonna get some beautiful mozzarella, about a cup of mozzarella cheese. So begins our lasagna making process. So you already put your meat sauce down. You don't have to do that in that order. I just did it before I did the cheese, but put some meat sauce, about half of your cheese mixture. And then you're gonna do a layer of spinach. And I don't even chop the spinach. I mean, I just like straight up just put it in. Half of your mozzarella, sprinkle on top. And then repeat. Do your meat sauce, the rest of your cheese mixture. Gosh, so good. And then the rest of your your spinach. And then the rest of your mozzarella. Get some, grated Parmesan just for kicks and giggles, and you can sprinkle on top because Parmesan, like when it browns, it makes it like that good browning look. So great. So just sprinkle some Parmesan on top. And that is your spinach lasagna. So then you're going to bake this at 350 for 40 minutes. So voila, your finished lasagna. And last but certainly not least is our dessert. So we're gonna make a brownie trifle. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get a standard just brownie box, like a mix of brownie mix, and you're going to bake it. Now, sometimes they say 8 by 8 on the brownie box, but what I want you to do is do a 13 by 9 pan because you want them to be kind of thin. So after they cook, take them out, let them sit out, let them cool. Now you're gonna make this wonderful mixture, like the whipping goodness mixture. So what you're gonna do is you're going to get 2.5 cups of milk. Then you're gonna get a box of vanilla pudding, like the instant stuff. You're gonna get a box of white chocolate pudding. And then you're going to mix it up. Now you're gonna mix it on low, beat on low for 2 minutes. So then once that's mixed, you're gonna just let it sit for about 2 minutes. So while it sits, you're going to get 2 or 3 Heath bars and you're gonna like crush them up into this. And it's a great thing to do while your stuff sits for 2 minutes. So after that 2 minutes is up, it should look kind of thick, almost like a jello-ish, kind of thing. Pudding. What? Pudding? It's crazy. Like we put pudding mixture and it kind of looks like pudding. Now you're gonna take a carton of thawed whipped cream. And what you're gonna do with this is you're gonna fold it in. I'm gonna use a spatula just to be super fancy. So you fold in your whipped cream and it should be like a yellowish color. Then after you fold in your whipped cream, then you're gonna take your brownies and you're going to cut them into like 1-inch squares, like really, really small. You can see there. And then you're going to take half of that pan and put it at the bottom of your, just noise everywhere, just music, kitchen music. You're gonna put half of it in the bottom of your trifle. Gosh, okay. Now, once that's done, you're gonna do a layer of half of this whipped cream stuff. Safety. If you're dating, take your time. If you're engaged, maybe a little longer. And if you're married, the deal's already sealed. So just, do what you gotta do. So then take the rest of your brownies, put them on top of this. Oh my gosh. So good. And then the rest of your mixture. And then you're gonna take your Heath bars and you're gonna just sprinkle on top. Ladies and gentlemen, that will make you have a great Valentine's night because how beautiful it is. So wonderful. So that's your yummy desserts for our Italian Valentine's night. So there is our Italian dinner for Valentine's Day. So for all of you who love these recipes and who may make them, then share this video with your friends.